Okay, so hain na kita adto. Naabot na sa dako delivery sa Shopee. So solve quadratic equation by factoring. So the first equation, we have x squared minus 7x equals 0. So saan nato pag-factor ang sa left side? So tip number 1. So hanapon na ninyo unsay common sa duha ka term unya ipagawas nato. So may common x squared minus 7x. Ang x squared o 7x, umay kaparihas nila duha. X, right? So, ipagawas nato si x, and then we have in here equals 0. So, the middle operation is minus or subtraction. So, we have to write that one inside. So, umay ato i-times kang x para mugawas ang x squared. We have x. Since x times x, that is x squared. Now, una may sabato i-times kan x to get 7x. We could use 7. Kay x times 7, that is 7x. Klaro? X times x, that's x squared. X times 7, that's 7x. Okay. Susunod. So, since ang aim nato is to get the values of x, right? We have to equate each factor to 0. So, ang kada factor di dyan, naatay duha ka factor, right? We have x and x minus 7. So, i-equate nato kuno si dya into 0. So, we have x equals 0 or x minus 7 equals 0. Do we have to solve it further? Ang x equals 0. Dili na, di ba? But, ang x minus 7 equals 0, mamanipulate pa na nato para makuha nato ang exact na value ni x. So, what are we going to do? We have to use again the addition property of equality. That is, x minus 7 plus 7 equals 0 plus 7. Again, kung uno i-add sa left side, the same gihapon sa right side. So, negative 7 plus 7, that is 0. Ang bilin is x equals 0 plus 7, that is 7. So, the value of our x is 0 and 7. Okay. Check ba? Sakto. Okay. So, how do we check kung sakto ang ato answer? Now, if ang ato x, if x is equal to 0, we have to substitute the value of x to the original equation, which is x squared minus 7x equals 0, right? So, i-substitute ko na nato si 0 sa tanan x. So, x, that becomes 0 squared minus 7x, that becomes 7 times 0 equals 0. Next, 0 times 0, that is 0, minus 7 times 0, that is 0, equals 0. So, 0 minus 0, that is 0, equals 0. So, since equal man ang left side o ang right side, that means, check ang ato solution nga si x, or one of the values of x is 0. Next, i-check na pod nato if x is equal to 7. So, substitute lang gihapon nato ang original nato ang equation, that's x squared minus 7x equals 0. So, substitute nato si 7. So, from x, that becomes 7 squared minus 7 times 7 equals 0. So, 7 times 7, that's 49 minus 7 times 7, still, that is 49 equals 0. 49 minus 49, that's 0, equals 0. So, since check mo na, 0 is equal to 0, we get our aim. That means the value of x is 7. So, since na-check na to, sakto ang atong solution ug ang atong answer. Claro? Okay. Another example. try to solve this on your own. 25x squared plus 10x plus 1 equals 0. Sige, try to solve it. I will give you 5 minutes to do it. Sige. Okay. Sige, answeran ra kan pud ni ma'am. Tip number 2. If you have trinomial or tuyo ka terms, para mag-factor, para mas dali mag-factor, lantawa lang ninyo ang first term o ang second term. If perfect square na sila, so dali ra ka na to i-factor out. So may factor na 25 na perfect square. That is 5. Since 5 times 5 is 25. Ang x, that x squared, that is x, kay x times x, that's x squared. So 5x times 5x, that is 25. Now, since addition man ang operation, we have to use, or we are going to use, addition lang pod. Now, ang third nato nga term is 1. So, may factor ni 1. That is 1 times 1. So, we have it, 5x plus 1 squared is equal to 0. Klaro ra? Diba na ata equation? 25x squared plus 10x plus 1. So, this is a perfect square trinomial. So, naata ang first term nato is perfect square. Ang second term nato is perfect square lang gihapon. So, all the operations are addition. So, we're going to use plus sign or addition. So, ang factor na 25x squared is 5x. So, isuyat lang nato 5x. Ang factor ni 1 is 1. Close and open parenthesis, squared. So, that is the factor of 25x squared plus 10x plus 1 equals 0. That is 5x plus 1 squared, or simply 5x plus 1 times 5x plus 1 equals 0. Ana lang siya. Maura gud nang ang factor ni 4. Pwede siya 2 squared or simply 2 times 2. The same lang gihapon diri a. So, sunod, isolve na nato ang roots. We have 5x plus 1 equals 0. Buyago nato og another one, 5x plus 1 equals 0. So, may sunod. We are going to use subtraction property of equality. So, from here, 5x plus 1, mag-minus tag 1 equals 0 minus 1. Ma'am, nga 1 man ang atong gigamit. Remember ha, nga ang aim nato is to find the value of x. Now, kung si 5x ang ato gamiton pag subtract, ma-0 na nina siya. Di na nato makuha ang value ni x. So, ang gamito nato is the constant. We have 5x. 1 minus 1, that is 0. So, 0 minus 1, that's negative 1. Next, uno na may subsunod. We will use the division property of equality. I-divide nato both sides by 5. Sunod ra. Okay, sa karakanak ang papel. By sides. So, this is 1. So, the value is negative 1 over 5. Next, sa right side gihapon, we have 5x plus 1 equals 0. So, kung magamit kita ng 5, tingnan nato ha, para makita ninyo, si 5x ato, kuhaon. So, 5x minus 5x plus 1 equals negative 5x. Although the same raman gihapon na siya. So, 0 na siya. Ang bili nato is 1 equals negative 5x. So, we are going to divide both sides by negative 5 by negative 5. So, the value of our x is simply negative 1 over 5. The same lang gihapon. Klaro? So, pwede, ing ani na method, pwede po ing ani rasad na method. Equal raman gihapon. Klaro?